When I opened my front door, my family was gone, and so was everything we ever owned. The air inside was heavy, still, like the whole house had been holding its breath. I stepped onto bare hardwood floors where our entry rug used to be, my footsteps echoing in the emptiness. The living room? Empty. The TV was gone. The shelves, once filled with family photos and kids' crafts, were bare, just outlines on the wall where frames had hung for years. Bedrooms, stripped, closets, hollow. Even the scent of home had vanished, replaced with cold dust and drywall. No note, no warning, no trace of the life I thought I had. It was like someone had pressed delete on my existence. My name is Mark Matthews, husband, father of 2, just a regular guy with a sales job that had me flying out twice a month. My wife, Rachel, held it down at home, solid, dependable, funny in that quiet way. We had 2 kids, Ellie, 6, Jonah, 4. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours, and I thought it was enough. Until I came home from a 3-day business trip and everything we built had vanished. The couch was gone, the photos, the kids' drawings on the fridge, even the dog's bowl. It looked like the inside of a model home, lived in and then erased. I called the police. They asked the usual questions. Could your wife have taken the kids and left? Any recent tension in the marriage? Financial trouble? No, nothing like that. In fact, I thought we were good, not perfect, but stable, predictable. We'd been married 12 years. I traveled often for work, but they were always here when I got back, until they weren't. I hired a private investigator to look into their disappearance. He traced phone records, bank activity. Everything stopped 2 days before I returned. He couldn't find anything, like she knew how to disappear. But something felt off, not just abandonment. This was organized, deliberate. I had one last idea, the secret security camera on our porch. A few months ago, I suspected she was cheating on me, so I installed it without her knowing. I queued up the footage, scrolled to the morning I left, and there they were, my wife, my kids, and my brother Jack. Smiling, carrying boxes, helping load the car. He even hugged my daughter goodbye. I stared at the screen in disbelief. Jack and I were close, grew up side by side, shared everything, or so I thought. And now he was helping my family vanish. The police flagged the video, opened a case for conspiracy, but neither of them could be found. They'd covered their tracks too well. And still, something about the video gnawed at me. The way my brother looked at my wife, the kiss on the cheek, the way she touched his arm, too familiar, too easy. Like it wasn't the first time. That's when the doubt set in. Are they having an affair? How long had this been going on? How deep did it go? A week later, the truth arrived in the most unassuming way. A plain manila envelope tucked in between bills and pizza coupons. No return address. Just my name, typed in sterile, all-caps lettering. The weight of it felt wrong in my hands, too light to carry what it was about to crush. Inside were 2 sheets of paper, DNA test results. My hands shook as I unfolded them. My eyes scanned quickly, irrationally hoping this was a mistake or some cruel prank. But there they were, 2 names, Ellie and Jonah. And then, under paternal match, printed in cold, bold font, negative. The word hit harder than any punch. It ripped the breath from my chest. Neither of them were mine. And based on the genetic markers, one man was the likely biological father. My brother. There were moments, small, fleeting things I used to brush off. The way he'd put his hand on her lower back when passing behind her in the kitchen. How they'd share long glances when they thought I wasn't looking. One night, I walked in on them laughing too hard at a joke I wasn't part of, their knees almost touching, eyes locked a little too long. I chalked it up to familiarity, to comfort. They were close. We were all close. But now, looking back, those moments feel like warning signs I chose to ignore. 12 years. I had been living in someone else's illusion. My marriage, my children, my family, all built on lies. He didn't just help them disappear, he helped create the life I thought was mine, a decades-long con, and I was the idiot who kept paying the bill. Then came the letter. It was from a prison in Venezuela. Paper thin, edges frayed, the ink faded like it had traveled through time. The envelope was smudged with dirt and sweat, the kind that sticks to you in humid air and regret. It was from my brother, his words poured out in frantic, scribbled lines. He said Rachel had taken everything, emptied his accounts, sold off his assets, even forged his signature to liquidate their joint holdings. She turned state's witness the moment the counterfeit operation they started began to fall apart. When the heat came, she vanished, leaving him behind with the evidence, the blame, and the flashing red lights of betrayal. He wrote that he never meant for things to go that far, that he loved her, deeply, desperately, and he truly believed she loved him back. But in the end, she'd played him too, took the money, the kids, and disappeared into the smoke of their collapsed fantasy. He begged me, pleaded, really, to visit, to hire a lawyer, to speak to someone who could help, said I was the only family he had left, the only one who might still care. And as I sat there, reading his words under the soft morning light of my quiet kitchen, I didn't feel rage, not even bitterness, just a deep, heavy sadness. Because while I had lost a life that was never truly mine, he had lost himself completely. I wrote him back once, just a single page. I told him I hoped he'd find peace, not forgiveness. That Rachel didn't just con him, she destroyed 2 families. And while I pitied him, I would never trust him again. Some lines, once crossed, never fade. I ended the letter with 5 words he'd never said to me. Goodbye. You made your choice. Because that's the thing about family. You either protect it or you poison it. And eventually, karma comes collecting. He gambled with love, with loyalty, with blood. And now, all he has left is time. Time to remember the price of trading brotherhood for a lie, and to make some new friends in prison. For a while, I didn't know who I was without them. I grieved for the life I thought I had, for the kids I raised, even if they weren't mine by blood. But pain is a strange teacher. It empties you out, and then hands you the tools to rebuild. I moved to Asheville, quiet, green, healing. I took a local job managing logistics for a food co-op. Nothing glamorous, but it kept me grounded. I traded airports for farmers' markets, pressure for peace. And somewhere in that stillness, I met Claire. She's a second-grade teacher, sharp-witted, soft-spoken, with a laugh that cuts through the silence. She knows what I've been through, every bit of it, and she chose to stay. We're building something honest, no illusions, no lies. Sometimes losing everything is the beginning of becoming who you were meant to be, not defined by what was stolen, but by what you choose to build next.